it's Daniel and Mariah here.
And today we are talking about something that gets us pretty excited. It's wedding planning season for a lot of people. So we're gonna drop 3 tips for planning your wedding ceremony. We had a lot of fun planning our wedding ceremony.
We did.
But because of our jobs, we're actually able to be involved in a lot of different wedding ceremony planning. And we're able to, since we got married, realize certain things that we didn't know when we were getting married and planning our own ceremonies.
Because when we were planning our own ceremony, I really hadn't been to a lot of weddings at that point. I don't think you had been either, maybe a few. So you're kind of what's normal in a ceremony? What do I have to do? Or can I do anything that's like my own creative spin on things? And so, we've learned a lot since then.
So number one for us when planning your own wedding ceremony to remember is that you can actually be more flexible than you think. I think sometimes people think because it's like a legal ceremony, a spiritual ceremony, it has to be more rigid than you think. So from things like the order of things to my favorite thing is where the officiant can stand when is so key. We have tons of pictures where our officiant is right behind us, his face is right here.
And we love him.
We're close to him and all that stuff. It's great that he's in there. But we would have loved to have some pictures of those key moments. Our first kiss after we got married, saying our vows to each other where he wasn't in. So something that I often tell couples is that you're allowed to not have your officiant stand right in the middle. They can stand off to the side when they're introducing the kiss so that you don't have to edit them out. You can just have a picture of you guys saying your vows or kissing or smiling at each other that they're not in.
Or sometimes people have the officiant stand almost where, in the aisle between the
facing
two rows.
The couple?
Facing the couple. And then that way, the couple's always facing the crowd. Because sometimes when you're facing your officiant, you're facing away from everybody else.
So I would say talk to your photographer, talk to your officiant, make sure that can work out. But again, the flexibility with that does depend on what type of religion it is, your cultural background, different traditions. But in most cases, you can actually be more flexible than you think.
Yeah. The second tip is to plan to your values. So for us, our faith is really important to us. We're Christian, and so we put things within our ceremony that really reflected that. For example, we had a few songs that someone led for us in worship. We also took communion together as our first act together as husband and wife.
You want to look back at your ceremony and say, that reflects us. This ceremony felt like us. And I think sometimes people, again, because they feel rigid within the ceremony structure that they've seen before or the ceremony structure that the officiant is used to, they feel pretty rigid. I think of something we also value writing and expressing ourselves through literature. And so we got to write our own vows, and some people don't know they can do that. So it's so important that people's ceremony reflects them and reflects their values. So plan those to your values.
And we actually wrote our own vows and did the traditional vows because tradition is also a big value
Exactly.
And so,
And the third thing is to rehearse. Rehearse. And so we have to name that we are more detail oriented. And we care about
things going right, and we care when things go wrong.
And so for our wedding, this is just an example, for our wedding and for a couple weddings that we've been a part of, you do all the vows, all the ceremony proper is out of the way, and then you go to the announcement of you are now blank.
I now pronounce you husband and wife.
And then you do the kiss, and then you walk off to music.
You walk back down the aisle, and there should be
celebration, rice, bubbles, all the stuff. For our wedding and a couple others afterwards
that we were a part
of, the cues went off, but the DJs missed the cue. So for our wedding, we were pretty much up the aisle before our iconic
song.
Walk away song.
So we were walking back down the aisle in silence.
Special moment.
I was trying not to have an annoyed look on my face because I know the photographer is taking pictures and I don't want to be what is going on?
We're just both glitching. We're what is going on?
And what's sucked is like, I think everyone kind of plans this song as
Yeah.
like a specific song, and like we were really excited about the song we picked and like how sick it would be walking back down the aisle, and then it was just like,
yeah. And so this might not mean as much to you if you're not crazy detail oriented or you're pretty chill.
Yeah.
But if you care, I would say make sure everyone who is a part of the ceremony is at the rehearsal, and rehearse more than you think you need to, and just be super clear with the details, because the reality is the bride and the groom will likely care the most about the ceremony, so you have to like double down on communications for everyone else.
And it seems so simple. Like you walk down the aisle, then you walk down, then you walk down, and the DJ should play the song at this time. It is simple, but we've seen enough weddings where those simple details are missed. And so do the best you can to rehearse as much as you can. But yeah, those are our 3 tips.
All the best as you plan your special day, and we hope that these tips were helpful. If you have any other tips you would add to that, feel free to drop it in the comments.
And make sure to like and subscribe, and we will talk to you soon.